Hey guys, welcome back to Shayte Adventures.
In today's video, we're going to be covering not only how to ship your household goods, but also how to ship your cars from mainland to Hawaii. Let's jump right into it.
I'll be talking about how to ship your car from the mainland to Hawaii. So we use Matson, but there's also Pasha Hawaii that you can use. And we shipped out from Long Beach, California because we lived in Southern California. But for the West Coast ports, there's also Oakland and Tacoma, Washington. So for the documents needed, you actually don't need that much. All you need is a driver's license, valid driver's license, and a Matson booking number. And to get that booking number, you can go onto their website and click the Book Now button. Now I'm going to talk about the costs and documents needed. For the cost of the cars, it was $1,497, so $1,497, so about $1,500. And this also depends on what port you're shipping it from and where you're shipping it to, as well as the size of car. So please check out their website because these costs may change. So Matson likes to ship out 2 days out of the week, which is a Wednesday and Saturday. And we decided to ship out our car on Saturday, but we had to drop it off on a Tuesday because they like to have 5 to 7 days before it actually ships out. And from the time that we dropped it off to when we could pick it up was 5 days. So it takes 4 days to ship out the car and for it to dock in Hawaii, and we picked it up the day after it docked. So the requirements for the vehicle versus what happened when we actually went to the Long Beach port, you can see the requirements listed on here. You can pause the video if you want to check that out, but you can see what you need. When we got there, we had a little over a 4th tank of gas, which they weren't totally strict on that. They didn't really care. Of course, we took out all of our personal belongings. I don't even think we kept the manual in the car. But again, we don't know what other people did. Just because you leave the key in your car, and I don't believe the lot is really attended by anyone. We also saw that some cars weren't washed. You can definitely tell there's still dirt on there, some dust on there. So I don't think they're too strict on that as well. So it only took about 30 minutes from when we signed in the office to tell them that we're here to when we actually left the port. And there's about a handful of people before us. So depending on what day you go, what time, you don't need an appointment. You can go pretty quickly from our experience.
As far as household goods go, there are 2 companies that you can go with, much similar to shipping your cars. There's Matson and Pasha Hawaii, or Pasha, one of the 2. Alright, so as far as when we shipped our household goods, so our household goods, the container itself got brought to us on a Thursday, loaded on that same Thursday, and then shipped out on Saturday. So like Shayla's telling you guys, the cars are dropped off on Tuesday, the household good containers on Thursday. They both go on the same boat and then are sail out that Saturday and arrive in Hawaii the following Wednesday later afternoon, evening, and then they're available for pickup Thursday. The live drop-off is where the truck driver and the container will stay with you until you're done loading the container. The drop-off and pickup is where the truck driver will leave the container with you, say over the course of 3 to 5 days, and then you give Matson a call when you're done. They send another truck driver back to come pick it up and bring it back to the port. There are 2 options to choose from when discussing a household goods shipping container. There's a 20-foot option and a 40-foot option. The 20-foot option should fit roughly up to about a 3-bedroom family household, and the 40-foot option should fit up to about a 5-bedroom family household. The 20-foot options inside dimensions are 19 feet by 4 inches in length, 7 feet by 9 inches in width, 7 feet by 10 inches in height. And the 40-foot household good container has the same width and height dimensions. Its length on the inside is 39 feet by 6 inches. As far as price goes of those 2 services, The drop-off and pickup, when I initially booked it, costed $7,500. And the live drop-off, after I switched to that, ended up costing in the end $6,870, which is a difference of $630, if I did my math right. The live drop-off will almost always be cheaper because you get the first 2 hours for free, and then every hour after that, say, I believe the rate of the truck driver is about $50 an hour, and so that's just tacked on every hour until you finish loading the container. Whereas, you know, if the difference is $630, because again, I only used the 2 hours, so I didn't have to pay the truck driver, and the going rate's $50, stay with me here, people that don't like math, that'd be almost like 13 hours that you could load the container for, and then that'd be the same price, close to that $7,500 for the drop-off and pickup. One other note I did want to add is the 20-foot and 40-foot containers come about 3.5 feet off the ground. That's because the container itself is not on the ground when it's left with you or when it's live. It's on the back of the flatbed of a truck. So I definitely recommend getting a ramp, whether you're loading it yourself or you're hiring a moving service, because that decreases the risk of dropping items, whether it be light or heavy, as well as the risk of injury to yourself or a moving service. And honestly, when I called around moving services, they required a ramp because of obviously the liability on their side when their movers would come. Or if they didn't, honestly, it's best for you just either way, because it ends up saving you time when loading and unloading stuff, which is obviously, if you hire a moving service, less money that you have to pay them and an hourly rate for however many guys that you end up hiring. The last thing I want to end on is the moving companies, as well as the prices of moving companies that we went with when moving from San Diego to Hawaii. So that way, if you're moving from San Diego to Hawaii, you at least have 2 references to start your research with when moving. If you're unfortunately moving from another location that's not San Diego, at least this gives you a ballpark estimate of how much it's going to cost you to hire a moving service in each of those areas. So for the first one in San Diego we went with was Pack and Load Services. So for 3 movers, for 2 hours, it costed us $450. We also ended up utilizing them to rent a ramp, which was another $120. So all in all, we got out about $570. The moving company we went with in Hawaii was a company called ASAP Movers. This company was kind of unique in a sense that they were very insistent on not using a ramp, so we ended up hiring 1 more mover than we used in San Diego. So in San Diego we had 3 movers, in Hawaii we used 4 movers, and we added on another hour, so we had 4 movers for up to 3 hours, and that costed us $712 with ASAP Movers.
Thank you guys so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed our video.
If you did enjoy the video, be sure to leave a thumbs up. If you want to support the channel, consider subscribing, and if you do subscribe, turn on the bell notifications so you're alerted when another video gets posted.
Until next time, take care.